What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here. Lord Addict, we're coming at you with another Addict show. Actually, Hustle, we got double the crew today. We don't normally have this many people. I don't even tell you the last time I had 4 people on the Addict show. Like, usually we try to keep it a little bit low, but, you know, it's some crazy stuff, man. It's been a slow news week, so I had to get people up on here, man. So first off, let's go over our guests. We got Lord KingDavid and your messy self on Twitter. How you been?
I heard people was yelling for my niece. Dude, don't call for me unless I sent for you, my guy. On God and them, man. Y'all don't want none of this smoke. I done been airing dudes out since I got on Twitter. Shout out to Cognito for forcing me to get on Twitter. And I've been airing you boys out forever. And it ain't gonna stop. Y'all just back away from me. So one dude want to put at me this week like, oh, look what happened. You calls this upon yourself for what I'm about to do to you. Oh. And I want y'all to go make a spaces about this.
Oh, no.
Oh, you really on the Stacy's thing, aren't you?
Run tell that. You snitches.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Being there
right,
gossiping.
So we also got the one and only Bitcloud Gaming. How you been, sir?
Busy guy. I'll tell you that, busy guy.
Busy guy.
Yes, sir.
And then we got, you know, my co-host. We got Hustle and Motivate. So, you know, we're gonna dive straight into it because there's a lot to talk about here, and I have a feeling King for sure is gonna speak some serious bars. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So first thing I do want to talk about is we're gonna leave the PlayStation thing a little bit later for the show because I know a lot of you, because I know King in his heart loves this one. Apparently, I'm gonna set this up for you, King. I'm gonna let you go first. But apparently, MLB The Show 2020 is coming to Gamepass day 1. And the moment King found out about this, he went straight to the IOP chat and put the tweet in the chat. King, how you feel about this? And he must be doing something.
Oh my God! Swing, bada, 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 bada. Swing.
Yes, man,
are you ready for some baseball? No. Oh my God! Yo, shout out to my favorite developer in Game Pass. Game Pass, you know the home. Shout out to my favorite third-party developer. Shoot,
third-party developer?
Producing, you might become the first-party developer. Get up under that wing, baby. Give me. Y'all looking sweet up in Game Pass day 1. How you PlayStation dudes feeling right now? You gotta pay for it. Oh, that's a one-off. Ain't gonna get it next year. We got it again.
You know that's not the narrative. We pay for our games $70.
Listen, then go pay for them.
We pay for our games.
Go pay for them.
That's what they do.
We play our games. You pay, we play. Yo, I can't front.
Best place to play. I pay.
Yo, listen, I can't front right now. Jim Ryan has got to be the greatest in-step CEO that I've ever seen over at Sony. He's lockstep. He is not playing. He's not missing any moves. He don't watch James Brown. He don't watch Dempsey Hammer. He don't watch the great Michael Jackson. He even threw in a couple of moves from Prince. And I ain't gonna front, man. Those knees be popping. He had the Bojangles doing it. He was whopping. I was like, oh boy, out here with the electric boogie. He danced so good. You dudes, y'all just didn't even see it coming the way y'all been bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray.
Now, King, this is why I have to ask you. How long have I been warning dudes?
I don't know.
How long have I been saying, like, just warning people on YouTube?
His knife is good though.
I'm just saying though.
I think he's in that. What was that game that y'all love so much? Ghost of Tsushima.
Can we take a second to tell Bitcloud, stop acting like you the only person up here saying the gossip, man. We've all been saying the same stuff, and Bitcloud will come in and be like, I'm the one that said first. I've been
I
telling people for
but
years.
I'm talking
Listen.
about on the PlayStation side. I'm like,
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
dudes.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah, exactly. There's a filter
Listen,
when it comes to
he's been the loudest dude on their side, and not yelling for he needs to be taken out his head.
Nope.
I hear a lot of those dudes screaming, Jim Ryan needs to go. Let me tell you something. Before Jim Ryan, you weren't profitable. You had a bunch of failed products that was inside development, and he went in and he cleaned stuff up. You had a homeboys only club that was over there. You know, just because you was Godfather in, you didn't think you can get canned. Oh no, you got reallocated into making demos for the new PlayStation. We got to see how this controller works. All right, so go make a game about that. You're going to be productive in Jim's world. In Jim's space, you're going to make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense, and Jim is about that Game Pass life. This is about MLB The Show day one in Game Pass.
Just to clarify, King, because you know people are going to go in that chat and say this, that this is a Jim Ryan move. This is an MLB making a sign with Xbox. This is Jim Ryan's the one that had the last call here, correct?
Let me say something. I don't care who the hell pull the trigger. Your head is on the front of the company. Your face is on front of the company. If America goes right now and does something crazy, Biden gonna have to pay for that, right? So at the end of the day, you are the head of the company. I don't care what it smell like. I don't care what it look like. You could have said, okay, you know what, MLB, we're not gonna be associated with that. Go do your thing. I'm not going to take my brand this way. But you know what they saw? They saw them sweet figures.
Mm-hmm.
They said, yo, they really do play games over there.
Man.
Yo,
look at it like this.
getting
They saw
money
a
over there.
Nintendo. They saw the Nintendo like number. That's what it is.
No,
Better numbers.
and let me tell you something. That's a worse blow for you dudes.
Yeah.
MLB The Show is on the go.
That's it.
Wow.
Bro. No, it's wild because I remember I got crucified. I don't know if I was on y'all's show when I brought that up when I said dudes do more talking about PlayStation games than actually buying and supporting, or it was Boom Show. It was one of the two. I got crucified. He was like, no, there's no way. No, just like, there's no way to do that. We buy the games. I buy them day one, or I'll get them on sale. That's my goddamn point. You get them on sale. You don't get them where it matters. You don't buy. Why do you think the Days Gone developers going through so many damn hurdles in these interviews talking about how the game did?
I mean, to be honest,
tell them, Ben. Tell them.
To be
the
honest
difference
with you,
between-
like, I was
What's up?
gonna say, to be honest with you, like that whole mindset from that whole side of not trying to save money, like blows my mind. They're like, oh,
No,
you know,
it's-
they'll
want-
damage
it's-
control
if you're not-
$70. Remember
if you're
Destruction
not
All-Stars?
given the opportunity to, you're going to
Yeah.
act like you don't want it. All right, so
there you go.
that's the only thing. But my thing is, when you buy it on sale, you're hurting Sony's bottom line.
Exactly.
Okay?
They're taking a
So-
loss to give it to you cheaper.
Exactly. So
And-
obviously, you are the problem, right? So when it comes to Game Pass, they got their bag up front.
Yeah.
Now all that engagement that's up inside there now. See, it's like when you go into an all-inclusive vacation. You paid everything up front. Now everything is afforded to you. Some of you dudes have never been to an all-inclusive. Let me explain how it goes. You put up the big bread first. So that means your flight, your room, your board, the bar, the food. That stuff is good. Then they tell you little extras. You have to pay for little extras. So that mini bar in your room, be careful. That's going to hit your wallet.
Yeah.
That's microtransactions in the baseball, right? So sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you don't want to go outside. You're going to hit that mini fridge. And they restock the mini fridge every day. And they will always have something that appeals to your appetite, right?
Shout out
So
to
then you
Blaze.
might order something off the menu later on, late night at night. So
right.
this is the microtransactions. This is where Microsoft makes their money. This is when MLB The Show really starts to shine because they got their upfront money. There's no sales here. This is no bargain basement stuff.
You know what's
And
going to
then
kill
they
me?
make money.
You know what's going to kill me on Twitter when I see the flip-flopping from, remember, before the narrative still is Game Pass is the enemy. Game Pass is ruining the industry, vice versa. These developers not getting paid, all this stuff. Yet here we are. And let's keep it a buck. Y'all seen the leaks, right? All the leaks, majority of the leaks in terms of Sony's direction and like certain features, whatnot, right? They've been on the money. This PlayStation Infinite, I don't know if they're going to call it that, but whatever the hell this subscription service they're working on, this Game Pass like competitor, it might come this year, it might not come this year, right? This year. But whatever the name of this service is, when this drops, y'all already know one big thing is going to change: the narrative, the goalposts. It happens every single time. We start from here. When Sony does it, oh, it's good. Let's move it back. Let's make amends for it. You know what I mean? Sony puts the game on. Sony puts the game on PC. Oh, it's fine. Well, the sequel they on PC, but yet here we are. The mindset before him was, oh, I'm done with PlayStation if that game goes to said PC. And yet, where they at, King? They still on the console. Good. And that's why I say it before. It's like people with the mindsets kill me, because it's like you're not going anywhere. Hustle, addict, they'll tell you. A lot of you dudes won't last on PC. I'm gonna tell you why? Because there's more hassles on PC at times. For sure. A lot of hassles. And you're not gonna go through it. You're not gonna be what you're comfortable for something that you're unfamiliar with.
You know what they're gonna do, Bit? You know what they're gonna do?
What's up?
They're gonna go buy a little man and get in pocket like Jim.
Let's be real here, King. That's not all they're gonna do. They're gonna buy a little man and not tell anybody they play at Xbox.
I'm pretty sure that I'm playing with a lot of those dudes right now under pseudo names. That's my friends that play with me every day, and it could be somebody else that's a well-known cat.
Bro,
remember back in the day when
they kill me. They're afraid to tell you that they buy or they play on Xbox. Now it's like, dog, who cares?
Remember back in the day when people that were playing Destiny was like they'd appear offline and not show people they playing Destiny. Yeah, like that's what's gonna happen on the PlayStation side with this Xbox. Like, look, I'm gonna get these super chats here in a second, but it's like MLB The Show is a big platform, and I will say that Microsoft has done a fantastic job with making up to the fact that their viewers, their consumers haven't had that game ever. It's like, look, like we get it. It took us a while. We got it here. It's like, and not only did we get that in the room, we're going to let you in the VIP club. So it's like, it's nice. And what's funny is it was bad last year. And then the fact that they announced the Bungie thing the same day, what was crazy. But let me get these super chats real quick. So we got a $5 super chat from Hero Avo. PS fans waiting for Master Chief Collection. Like, Lord King, why is they binding? What is they binding? I don't know what you mean by that.
What did he say?
He said PS fans waiting for Halo Master Chief Collection, like, and it's a skull emoji, so they did. Yeah. Lord King, what is thy bidding?
Oh, bidding, okay.
He's asking you, like,
what is my bidding? Okay, listen. We're gonna address that topic in a second, and I'm thinking you're gonna take away so much fun bars that you can clip and you can post and you can tease your friends with, because I got some stuff for you in this and on this show that is really going to take Twitter and do a blowtorch to it. It's gonna get real good.
Then we got a $2 super chat from Pixel Bit G. Jim did say they were not enough. So
this is true. He said y'all wasn't good enough. He said that's cool, but that's not.
We need that PC crowd to get that sales too.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. Once he got that money from that Game Pass, and once they realized that, dude, these dudes don't stop buying stuff. Like, another check came in this month. What? Microsoft check. Caulfield.
I did want to speak on that. So the month that the game came out, around July of, because it came out in April, but around July of that year, I'm looking at the numbers now. It sold 2 million across all platforms, and then it reached 4 million players. So
and not to mention
what's up,
that fat check they got, King, from Microsoft for putting it on Game Pass.
Microsoft paid them whatever they paid them, and the MLB, MLB was like, hey,
MLB was always what was the word for it?
For the streets. I mean,
well, aside from that,
wouldn't they be?
before the streets, a lot of people didn't really bat an eyelash at MLB. That's the thing too. On the PlayStation,
no, they took it for
side.
granted.
They that's that too.
What you take for granted, and I've been trying to tell you, PlayStation dudes, for a minute. We got God of War. It ain't going on PC. Wake up, little Susie. Wake up.
Oh my God.
We got. That's never going to PC. We got Naughty Dog and wake up. Dudes. Those days is over right now. They told you ain't enough. All that y'all capping is 125. First of all, you brought one.
Facts.
All right, and maybe if you like me, maybe you got 2 and 3 inside your house because you don't feel like carrying your console up to the next room. You know, when you get kicked out of one room, you just go load up in the next room. So if you purchase one, talk about that one. You purchase that one game. Stop talking about these millions. But financially, in this day and age, it's not feasible to game in the capacity that you want to game. That old style, that old thought, I'm gonna get this game and I'm going to platinum this game and I'm going to squeeze every ounce of juice out of this game that I can possibly squeeze out. When Game Pass drops on the 20th, 15 games. So you think that little $70 purchase means anything to the $500 deal that I just got that just dropped into my lap? I never want to be you. Like, I never want to be you. I want to be the $500 deal.
You're hurting the industry, but you're hurting the industry. Support the developer. $70 every game. Who cares about your deal?
I don't know how that money is shifted out, but I don't care about them. Like,
I don't get this shit. Like,
if you want to keep it a buck, I don't care. Like, I really do. I'm a gamer. So I want to get as much games for as least amount of money that I can spend.
Especially at times like this, bruh. $70.
You know what's crazy?
What did I say? What did I say, Addict? What did I say? I said when you increase the price of anything, that magnifying glass gets bigger.
Yep.
And people look at what you're getting for that price point. This is
know
why a lot more people have been very picky. I didn't mean to cut you off, but people have been very picky with PlayStation games. It's just that simple. The games that are established, they're going to be fine. Sure, they'll be fine. Horizon's already a made game. It's going to do good with part 2. But let's keep it a buck. Games like Destruction All-Stars never had an opportunity. They were never going to take off. Yeah, that game was never going to take off at $7. But people were lobbying. You remember that hustle? They were lobbying to pay $7 for that until it went to PlayStation Plus. They saw how trash it was. They're like, oh, you know what? I'm glad they paid $7. Well, listen, this is what I'm talking about. Dudes need to understand and pay attention to what you're getting. I love that. Like, it's
the crazy part that blows my mind is just how dismissive people are when you talk about, oh yeah, I got Game Pass. Oh, I pay full price for my stuff. I never do anything in that. And I'm just like, so you pay okay, so when you go into the dealership, you just pay it all in cash. You nothing else. Like everything in cash. No, I'm talking, but these people on Twitter,
they don't even have a car.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, like you do this in other aspects of your life, but for some reason, these are the same people that will subscribe to Netflix all year long. And
under somebody else's account. Under somebody else's account. Not even under their account. Because listen, you know what the fear is at it? And I told dudes from the beginning that you can't pay that month. And when you can't pay that month, the lock is on the door. Like, so it's a fair. It's an absolute fair that you don't have that $15 that month and you are locked out from the fun. So, okay, so let's get to this part, right? Anytime I do purchase a game off of Game Pass, I get 10% discount. Let's say the game is about to leave Game Pass. Let's say the game was inside Game Pass for at least a year and some change. The price on that game then dropped down. And I still get the 10% off on my deal. So let's say it's no longer $50-$60 and they had a sale on this game and this game now is like $35. I still get that 10% off. And before it leaves, guess who owns that digital piece, that little copy, that little token? A lot of you dudes is out here capping for NFTs and Bitcoins and all this other stuff. Where is it at in your hand? Oh, you saying, nah, I ain't gonna do none of that NFT and none of that Bitcoin stuff. I'm worried about this cold hard cash. The diamonds and the gold. I need to have that in my hand. No. So if you using that same brain, let's use the brain that you got.
You're gonna love this. So I'm looking at the chat.
What they said.
The Marcus Doss. Let me say this. Okay. So you said that PlayStation.
He put it in color. He put it in color.
No. I got
stop addressing it.
No, I gotta say this because he came at me early. He said,
"No, but don't listen to him because listen, if he really want his voice heard, he will put some money behind. You gonna learn today. I'm not listening to you. So anyway, I'm not listening.
He's
to
like,
you.
whatever Bitcloud says. He's like, I ain't even acknowledge.
I'm not gonna allow him to give you a voice, and you not even putting money behind your words because you're not strong behind your convictions. So the moment you decide to say that your convictions and your words mean something, you hit that money. You see that button right there with put $1 behind your words. Put some weight behind your throat.
You have to put at least $2 before you could say anything.
Well, let somebody have to say your words. When you go to the courtroom, you pay your lawyer to talk for you, right? Well, you better pay that lawyer to talk for you because I can't see you. Anyway, back to our conversations what we was talking about. Right?
See, I had to, real quick, King, I had to put the color on for the Attic Show so King can see me. So.
Oh, no.
These dudes out here jabber talking. You can do it all you want down there. When you want me to see what you're talking about, put some bars behind your words. I'm not looking at that. And you know what I'm talking about? There we go. Now I can hear what you're talking about.
Now you got a $5 super chat from Hero Evo. This acquisition was like buying a $20 Uber and someone else got the ride.
Yo.
Well, King, I think you said it earlier in the conversation. If I'm Sony San Diego, I would have let it go. I would have let MLB go.
Oh my God.
I would have let it go because at that point you make something else.
I gotta read this one. King, it's tough to super chat when you drop in $77 a game. We got a $2 super chat from Flame Dab. King be going for the throat. Get him.
It is what it is. You understand? Like these dudes want to be here. This is not a blog post that we're going to sit there and read your joint, because I'm not. I got on shades, bro. So, unless I see color pop up, man, if I can't see you.
See, you know when you really get King? When you take the shades off to read. Like,
that's right.
We got a super chat from, I'm definitely going to butcher this, Q-Tang Claim.
Yeah,
oh my God, I got something right. Oh, so someone clip that. King said you got to pay to play.
This is a fact. This is what they like to do, right?
That's it.
Look, at the end of the day,
I never thought we'd be like that though. We're damage control is $70.
$70, yeah, that's why.
I understand.
I never thought we'd be there.
I understand the mindset where I want to own the product, which the majority of a lot of these games are online only. Like, so you don't really own it.
Yeah.
But when you go on someone's timeline and start attacking people because they're subscribed to a subscription service, it is crazy. And a lot of these people are low-key behind closed doors getting Ubisoft Play to play one of their Assassin's Creeds for a couple days and not telling anyone. Yeah. So it's like, it's only okay when it's actually relevant to their conversation. That's why they won't tell people. That's why I said back in the day, people would be clowning us on playing Destiny, but what they doing behind closed doors, King? They appearing offline because they don't want to give us the narrative of roasting them the next time they come in the chat.
But then they hit me in the DM. Could you get me through this raid, King?
Oh man.
He's like, can you get me through this raid? Can you
I don't
get me
want this
through
to
this
fall
raid?
on deaf ears on anybody. Yo, they capping $70, for a sports game.
Yeah.
I want y'all to take that in for a second. It's a sports game that costs $70, which you probably would have traded back in after 8 months of having it anyway. They could probably do a new sports game.
And not to mention
$70, dog, for a sports game. But what we doing?
And after Madden, I mean, a lot of these sports games, you're looking at them spooky.
And not to mention,
especially that new WWE game that's about to drop too. But bro, all that stuff spooky.
The crazy part is people didn't really say anything when Sony's charging $10 to upgrade previous gen games. Like it wasn't like there were certain people that was saying something, but for the most part it was crickets. And it's like Sony's like, okay, we gonna get the $70 for these brand new titles.
The reason why, I had this conversation with you before, but the reason why I do is really think that this little controller here with the haptics automatically justifies you paying an additional fee to access this. Mind you, the competition offers all that stuff at no additional cost.
And
mind you, the competition is giving you free upgrades with no additional costs.
Hey, King,
what
color is that analog?
What are we paying for?
It's green.
Hey,
you subconsciously want to be part of the green machine, so you might as well just do it.
Yo, Bit, let me tell you something. When they say stuff like that, they're gonna tell you that Microsoft has to do that because they're losing, right?
Yeah.
You don't work for Sony. You don't get a check from Sony.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get an endorsement. You don't even get a heads up from Sony. We're dropping PlayStation, so you can actually get one that you've been capping for since last year. So you're a gamer, right? Worry about that part.
Yeah.
Worry about, okay, $70 looks like it's a bit out of whack when everybody else is at 60 and everybody else is giving you free upgrades to usher you into the next generation where one is taking a hard stance, excuse me, and then reverse that same stance right back in front of you because they said that you weren't enough and they need the money from the previous generation to get into the black because they're in the red to make these deals. And then they told you, PC wasn't in our plans. Then they go out and get Nix's, which is my heart. That's my heart. And then these games starts coming over and being ported over to the PC because the PC introduces a revenue stream. And then they tell you that games will be ported over to rival consoles.
Yeah. What kills me?
In doing this, hold on. In doing this, you dudes been saying for a long time, it's been deteriorating the brand.
Mm-hmm.
You don't represent the brand. Right? Ooh. Like you're not a CEO for the company.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get fired if you go and jaywalk and get arrested from Sony. They don't care about you. So stop acting like you represent the brand. You represent games. Go game and get the best deals for your dollar. When you start valuing yourself, you can stop looking for value in others.
Exactly. They project themselves in the box, and that's what they should have.
And that's you.
And that's not it. That's not it.
That's why I've always been. That's why I've always been. Just go where the games are. When the Bungie thing was announced, the first thing I tweeted is, "Look, it depends on how this deal goes," which we're about to talk about here in a couple minutes. But I might be playing Destiny on PlayStation. You didn't see me tweeting the president to ask them to stop it. Like
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you
don't
didn't see me.
Where they getting this? Yeah. Dude's like, "Hey, Sony, you need to buy these guys." I'm like, bro, they're not listening to your silly tweet. What are you doing? Like, stop. It's not like that.
We'll get to it in a minute, but let's keep it real. It's a sports game. It should have been on all platforms in the first place.
Exactly.
I've never heard in the history of gaming like a first party sports game, and then baseball on top of that. Like I never heard of that.
At that period of time, everybody was making sports games. Like a baseball game. You had Nintendo making their own baseball game. You had Microsoft with RBI baseball. Yeah, so baseball games was prevalent all over the place until Sony locked down the licensing, and you got to blame EA for that.
Yep.
EA is the culprit when it comes to doing stuff like that. And then you got to look at Take-Two when they made sure that 2K was the prevalent basketball game where Live couldn't breathe. So when stuff like that, when we have reverberations in the market of that type of magnitude that forces people to lock down whole licenses and put it behind a walled garden.
Yep.
Yeah, it's advantageous at that period of time when those metrics dictate that type of thought. Everything has changed now. MLB The Show said, you're not enough. So
I'm about to say they wasn't really selling like that.
What Jim said was it was a point in time in his head. The market was good here.
Yeah.
MLB The Show said, listen, Poro Plata. All right? All right? Either you're going to take the gold or the lead. One or the other, Papa, because let me tell you something. We're going to make this move. So what he did, he got down. Jim's not crazy. Then when he got the bag, he sees the situation. You won't ever hear Sony talk bad about that situation in their brains. They're trying to calculate how they can get more of their product into that ecosystem to get that reoccurring dollar.
Not only
to
that,
do
too,
next to nothing.
The return on their investment as well is also speaking volumes to this dude. Didn't they get like a 90% return on their investment?
You know what's crazy about the MLB The Show thing? Instead of being realistic about the matter and saying, look, MLB The Show and Sony feel like they can capitalize on this because it's a sports game. It should probably be everywhere anyway. Instead of being realistic like that, you had people that's like, Sony, you should have just refused to make the game and let it go. What?
I stand by that, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Somebody have a good experience because you want to be petty. Oh, it needs to be on my box or no other. It's dumb to me.
I mean, just to clarify, you said that you stand by them abandoning the MLB The Show.
I'd have left it alone. I'd have had Sony San Diego Studios. I'd have had them working on something else. I'd just had them working on something else, dog. At that point.
So hold on. Let's break this down a little bit. Let's break this down.
What's up?
What is the mindset behind? No. There's no wrong answers here. Okay. What is the mindset behind that opinion, though? Like, why do you feel that way?
I feel like in order for me to, because you either got to get down or lay down, because the MLB wasn't playing either. In order for me to do that, like that joint would have had to, like, because I don't know what the final sales are. Like that joint would have to move instead of like the 1 million that it moves annually. That joint would have had to do 10 times that in order for me to like stick around, because I feel like it's not worth it at that point. And like for real, something like, if I'm not even like a PlayStation fanboy, but something like just wouldn't have sat right to be like, you got to make this. You got to make this for everybody after it being exclusive all that time. The MLB we stepped in, we all know that, but just like I got pride, though. Like, yo, like nobody was copping that baseball like that anyway.
No, it wasn't. No, no, that is true. That is true.
I don't believe that rhetoric. And the reason why I don't believe it is I have friends that wait every year for MLB The Show. The same way I got friends that wait every year for 2K and every year for Madden.
I think he's talking about the vast
Madden,
majority.
listen, if Madden and 2K was locked down to a specific console, they will be locked down to that specific console.
Yeah.
Hey, King, hold on. I don't want to go into a back and forth. You know there's a difference between the MLB and the NFL.
No. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Predominantly, my family is made up of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
So you talk football to them, they talking about soccer.
Soccer, right.
All right. So, and then you talk about the West Indian side of me. I can't even talk Madden to nobody. You understand? Because they bring it up FIFA. So it's FIFA. Me and
definitely can't. You definitely can't talk Madden to me because I'll be like, what are you talking about?
You understand? So I'm coming from a culture set, right? My culture set is different. So when you say MLB The Show is now available in game, my cousin said, bang. MLB The Show is on Xbox? Gamepass? That's why I did that video. And it was so funny because I did it because that's the same voice that he used in my head when he was screaming my ears off. He said, I don't have to play my PlayStation no more, bro. This is it, Papa. We're going to play. I don't want to hear no excuses no more. We're going to play some baseball.
Hey, I want to mention one last thing. I do want to mention one last thing before, so I can wrap up. It's on Nintendo Switch, and it's crossplay all over.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
That's what they want.
Did you see that thing that BG shared? It looked like it was like one of those old 2 minutes. It said, it's a Nintendo Switch gameplay leaked.
I saw that. Yeah. They
But
for that.
Lord.
You're going to see this game be exactly what it's supposed to be. If it's the pinnacle of the sport,
yep,
it's supposed to be visible, like the sport, not locked down. When EA did that, they changed how sport games were looked at across all genres.
Yeah.
So the EA is the bad culprit here. Sony just follows suit to survive. And it's so, and this is a underlining tone with Sony, and we're going to get into their level of survival and what Sony does to survive at all costs all the time. And you will notice that they aren't exactly the homegrown, beautiful, doe-eyed, baby, blue-eyed dude you think they are.
We definitely get that. Let's get these super chats. We'll move on to the Bungie talk, man. So we got a $5 super chat from Gaming Forte. I wish someone would come after me for not buying games. I bought games for years, and I bet I have more digital game purchases than most of you haters. Yeah, I think the last time I checked, I had like 711 or something like that.
It's ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then we got a $5 super chat from Andrew Courtney. Subscription services are all a value proposition. They aren't for everyone, but for those who want it, Gamepass is a fantastic value. Nothing but facts. Nothing but facts. Then we got a $5 super chat from John Wolf. Great show. Hey, PS console warriors. Don't forget that PS acquired Bungie because of Microsoft. In the words of King, who did that for you?
Facts, though.
Yeah, that's funny. We got a $10 super chat from Drawn TJ. Hi, Lords. Do you think Microsoft and Sony are working together behind the scenes, buying companies to preserve the gaming industry and keep it from Apple and Tencent? That's a very interesting.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
No.
I think that they're Microsoft. We're about to get to the Bungie thing here in a second,
Yeah.
so we'll get more into exactly these acquisitions.
Going in two different directions with two different goals.
Yep.
You pretty much
one
got
company for sure is doing
one
that.
wants one
Microsoft.
massive service, the other one's doing its own thing.
Yeah, you got a company like Microsoft that wants to really be the first big person in the subscription hall. So they're buying all these platforms to make sure they have content for this subscription service. And then you got Sony panicking and buying whatever they can scrap up.
Oh man,
That was a 5-month out deal. I don't believe it was a panic.
No,
it
wasn't a panic to the Activision thing. Let's go and get to it.
Yeah.
So Bungie was bought by Sony. And so first off, I want to say is when it comes to this particular thing, this one did hit a little close to me. A little bit. Because there for a second, I was thinking, damn. I was like, I might have to play everything on PlayStation when it comes to Destiny. But the good thing is this thing right here. And I dropped my controller, but that's fine.
Oh.
This thing right here is 1,000 times better than that DualShock 4. So I could rock with this. I could definitely rock with this.
Y'all came to y'all senses, I see. Okay.
Man came to my senses. This is the second player controller, so it will always stay on my PC.
All right.
2-player game.
So let me set it up. PlayStation bought Bungie. It was a big thing, and I will say this is huge news. Regardless how people feel about Destiny, and regardless how Kid Smoot made like a 12-minute video saying Bungie's not worth $3.6 billion.
Yes,
which is
they definitely.
The thing is sure, maybe the company itself wasn't worth that, but you don't buy a company for what they're worth. Like, you literally go to anyone that's doing well and offer them what they're worth. They're gonna laugh you out of the office. You have to put that cherry on top. Do you Activision was not worth the money it was worth, but they had to put that cherry on top to get that deal out.
You got to purchase the debt.
Yeah, the debt too.
See, these dudes don't understand what goes behind deals.
All right, so let's break this down. First off,
Insomnia. That's like the only one.
What I want to ask,
that
clean
weird thing.
First thing I want to ask is, we're going to start with Hustle. Hustle, do you think? Now, just keep in mind. Let's just answer this question because there's a lot we have to go over with Bungie and Activision. Do you think that this is a reactionary buy from Microsoft buying studios the way they are?
Yes, it is. Not the most recent one, obviously, because this deal, and I'm kind of glad we waited till some news came out. This took over around 5 months. So this is definitely a reactionary thing because, as we all know, PlayStation don't really have any multiplayer games. They don't really have any multiplayer games outside of like Call of Duty. Let's see what The Last of Us was over there. I think Resistance was over there once upon a time. They
SOCOM.
They would come. Yo, SOCOM was on PlayStation 2. Like, just look at how far back Bitcloud went, y'all. Like, so they definitely needed multiplayer.
I have a theory about them, but I'll let you finish your point now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, because I kind of want to take this one nice and slow. This is like the surgical summer from Pusha T, man. Because, hey, look, I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, PlayStation bought Bungie, but it seemed like Bungie came out the victors of this deal. And I guess we'll get into that a little bit more. Like, the structure of that deal, to me, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Because I know Bungie was independent, but we'll get right back to it. So let me ask you a question first, Attic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's reactionary, but it's not reactionary to the most recent deal. It's reactionary to the previous deals that was going on.
The narrative, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So King,
Yeah.
do you think that this is a react? Okay, let's. I'm gonna broaden it a little bit more. Do you think if Microsoft wasn't up here dropping money like it's hot, like they know tomorrow, and buying all these studios, buying Bethesda, buying all the studios they bought in 2018, do you think this Bungie thing happens?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. Well, this is 5 months in the past. Let's look at the history of how loose Bungie is.
Uh-oh.
All right. So Bungie is and listen. Okay. For all you new millennials or whatever with your classifications, I identify as him and he. Okay? So all of my stuff will be geared in that manner. So before you get your panties in the bunch, him and he. Okay? Now, Bungie loves the courting phase. Bungie's the type of girl that she loves the dating. She loves the flowers. She loves the honeymoon. She loves the ring. She loves to get down on the knee. She loves to talking to her friends. He proposed. It's a beautiful thing. So when Microsoft came through the first time and she got married the first time, oh my God, he did it. I can't believe it. Oh my God, this is amazing. They had 3 beautiful children together. Then she became a housewife. And she said, I don't want to do this no more. There's no more romance in this. You're not giving me the flowers. And then Microsoft was like, what are you talking about? I got your rule for you fed the lights. What else you want me to do? I'm doing everything. What are you talking about? This is not working out. The kids stay with me. You can get the hell on. Go home, boo.
Oh no.
So Halo stayed here. She hit the bricks. Next dude saw Activision. Hey, Ma, you looking sweet. She like, oh, told her friends, yo, he talking to me, he wooing me, giving me the rings and the things. And I got this, I'm thinking about a new name for my kid. It'd be Destiny. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Let's do this. So they get married. They had 2 kids together. And then he tries to domesticate her by telling her when he wants her to get the food out the refrigerator and getting all this stuff. Oh, hell no. Hell no, Activision. I had this in my last relationship. I want out, and this time I'm taking the kids.
This analogy is crazy.
So she take the kids this time.
I'm actually speechless right now.
Listen, she take the kids this time. She gone. So she got her name. She pulled the Tina Turner. I want my last name. She took that. She took everything.
My God.
She out. So right now she a Rolling Stone, rolling,
Oh my
rolling.
God.
So she come back to Microsoft. You got this Gamepass thing. Remember, we could get back to how we used to do it.
Oh my God.
So she was talking to Microsoft for a minute. We all thought they was really booed up because we see them at games together and they doing all this type of stuff together. We thinking they about to get Shaq back up. Microsoft came to their sense and said, hell no, Ma, you crazy? You for the streets.
Oh my God.
So here the dude at the end of the bar, see her sipping her little cognac in the corner with her cougar eyes. And she looking over. and my man Jim slide in and say, "Hey, ma."
Somebody clip this, please.
This is getting clipped.
I said, "What's up?"
Clip this.
Said, you down to hang? Yeah. But listen. Before we take this any place further, I want an open relationship if this is going to be anything.
God, I hate you, Ken.
I want to be able to be anywhere I want to be at any time I want to be there.
If you ain't doing right by me, I want to be able to walk out the door.
And in his desperation, he looked over and said, "You know what? I don't got no multi-plats and I don't got no first-person shooters that matter. And you are the queen of making these first-person shooters go bang. And you definitely got that multi-plat joint. You got any other stuff you working on? Yeah, I got this stuff over here. But what? I want a big wedding. I want a bigger wedding than I ever had. And I want you to announce it to all your friends, because you're going to tell all your friends you're with me." "I got you, boo." And the tweet go out. Sony acquired Bungie for the low price of 3.6. And she booed up again until the moment Sony says something slick out his mouth. And she not feeling that domestication again. She back outside on the streets.
Man.
But she got exactly what she want at all times. This is the only company that I've ever seen finesse dudes at, and we just sitting there like, how do they keep getting finessed by this? Microsoft looked at her and said, no.
You got a good point there. Shout out to Bungie for literally going up to it. It's literally, they're like, "Yo, we could talk, man, but you know, we could be that friends with benefits, but you're gonna make me, you're gonna sign a prenup, because if this isn't it, I'm leaving and you ain't doing nothing about it." And they didn't do that to one company, they did that to two.
Two. Yeah.
Out of control. No, this last contract is the worst, because she said, "I don't care if you like to have everything to yourself. I'm for the streets." So, and you're gonna put that in your press conference. You're gonna put that in your little tweet, your little package that you're gonna put out. Rival consoles. Nintendo getting Destiny too. This is amazing.
Hey, well, so, I do want to say, man, like, yo, Bungie, they pimp hands super strong, because I do want to go back a little bit.
They got so much. They got a lot of leverage.
Yeah,
by themselves, they have leverage.
Yeah, well, you know, before,
they make their own leverage.
Yeah, no, I'm saying
What's up? Well, no, I was gonna say, before they made Halo, first of all, that game was supposed to go to Apple, and it was supposed to be either a third-person game or a real-time strategy game.
What happened? Apple financed that in the beginning.
Yep.
Microsoft came and took them out of the fire.
They said, "Hey," you say, "We need y'all right quick," and that's how Microsoft actually ended up with Halo. It was like, "Yeah, look, we'll sign y'all, but we need Master Chief," and then they got it ever since. Yo, ever since then, like, I swear, like, whoever's at Bungie took that personal, dog. They dip from they dip from Microsoft, right? They dip from Xbox. They dip from Activision. The second thing started to go wrong, they're out. And like, I'm 3.6 billion. Like, first of all, 3.6 billion just to have it a multi-plat everywhere. They're all working on another project, but we don't know, what the confines of it are. It could be an exclusive thing. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the way Bungie carrying it right now, dog.
You know, the funny thing about it, how I kind of read it at first, until you like really look into like the extra of it, like how they're gonna go remain themselves. I actually thought like how I read it at first, I thought it was gonna be similar to like, because it sounded similar at first until you read into it, similar to the Bethesda acquisition or Call of Duty one, like, because they go, "Hey, we were made, these games were continuing to go this, that, and third," until you actually read it, and they flat out tell you, like, no. Sony supports our vision of multi-platform. And when I heard multi-platform, now it's funny. Again, me, I'm very fair. I'm very fair. I'll sit back. I'll hear a take. I'll give you mine. I'll say it how it is. For a while now, I've been hearing a lot of PlayStation dudes in particular call Microsoft a third party.
Yeah,
literally. I've been hearing that a lot, and I'm like.
I'm sitting there going, because I see. I just gave y'all the setup.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you the finish.
And I'm looking at this. I'm gonna go, okay, so Microsoft is a third party. They're not making quote unquote games. They're just gonna be a publisher. They're gonna drop everything on PlayStation, even though we already got a lot of big parts, or should I say information for a lot of these games, especially for Bethesda. And when we look at the situation with Activision, what do we know so far about Activision? Sony's gonna get 3 COD games. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We haven't heard nothing more about 4. We haven't heard 4 or 5. We only know 3. And mind you, those 3 games were put on a table. They were made on a table long before this acquisition even happened. Type of deal. You're getting those. I don't know where they're getting this mindset for this, but now we got Sony over here. And mind you, this is why I'm gonna tag in Hustle. You brought up no multiplayer games. How many times I said that with you? We need that. We need multiplayer games. This is the studio to go to get certain games coming back. Remember how they tweeted out SOCOM? They keep tweeting out Resistance. I really think Bungie's going to lend their expertise in those games with the multiplayer side of this. I'm going to tell you why. Because let's face it, Factions 2 is going to be good, right? We know we play Factions. It's going to be good. But let's face it, Factions 2 is not a Halo. It's not like a crazy, you know what I mean? It's not that type of game. It's just a fun game you play. It's not going to have, like, even if they did something crazy when they try to add some MLG type of esports element to it, right? It's not going to work with Last of Us. That's not the game for it. You need something different. Therefore, you got to you have to go back in the treasure chest. You got to bring back the hitters. And Resistance and SOCOM are the likely ones that make sense. Insomniac Games keeps tweeting it. Insomniac, they telling you like, oh, we're just showing off our history of the game. Insomniac, you've been showing off the history of this damn game for damn near a year and a half. What are you doing? Clearly, there's something going on with this game. There's just let it out. Stop the cap. So we know that's happening. But this is the studio to get that multiplayer going. The single player is fine. But the thing about Sony, they don't have a game with the longevity of a multiplayer that matters. Hell, they have potential with one. The Order 1886 could have been potential with a horde mode type of multiplayer. If we got in a sequel, we don't have that.
And now, we won't get it. Well, at least I don't think we're gonna get it because Ready Get Down is over there with Facebook or Apple, right? Yeah. King, before y'all go in, I just want to say, what a time to be alive, right? A couple weeks ago, Activision signed with Microsoft. Yeah. And we have Crash Bandicoot and then Spyro the Dragon, which were the PlayStation IPs that they invented, by the way. And I believe Naughty Dog invented those. Yep. Over there with that Team Green. And now we got the creator of Halo over there with everybody. I was going to say Team Blue, but they're kind of over there with everybody right now. But we do live in the reality, right? We live in the reality where, Bungie, for all intents and purposes, could actually make a Halo killer. Not like Resistance, or not like Killzone, rather, but it could really make a Halo killer.
They can make a good thing. They proved that with Destiny. Destiny was nothing.
They're making Destiny 3.
No, they are.
And then they have that MMO that's coming out called, what's the MMO called, Addict?
Project Matter.
Yeah, Matter. Because it's the only thing that matters right now is their pockets.
All right, so hold up real quick.
I just want to say one thing, right? And a lot of you guys is going to probably, try to come for me. First of all, Jim, I respect Jim Ryan in such the way that, I said he was at the bar and he saw her with cool guys and he said, hell yeah, whatever. He took. But what Jim understands and what Jim knows is when he purchases them in their entirety, they have a movie division. You can make Destiny the movie.
The TV show.
You can sell that over to Netflix for the TV show to go along with all the other stuff that you got going over to Netflix as a TV show. Look at this package here. They don't have first-person party shooters of note. They made Haze, it didn't work. They made Resistance, it didn't work. They made Killzone, it didn't work. So why not go get the father of the best console shooter ever made?
Yeah. Right? And let them have lightning in a bottle. Make something new.
You have the DNA strands there, even though everybody's at 343. I'm not gonna say nothing, but you're gonna hear it though. You purchased the shell, but the soul is over here. But at the same time, the biggest deficiency Sony addressed and it was necessary to do so in light of the onslaught of what Microsoft is doing is they multiplayer deficit, and they did that in one fell swoop. With one slice of the sword, they fixed 3 different categories. So you can't say that this is a weak move. This is a strong move made out of power. But again, when I tell you this is the last PlayStation console, this is the harbinger of doom. Because they're telling you in the paperwork, supporting rival consoles as a effective part of their DNA going forward now, if you're looking, is going to have reverberations throughout the boardroom. And once the boardroom starts to see certain amounts of money, and once Jim continues to produce in certain amounts of ways, there's no going back. There's no going back from Microsoft in the way that Phil has put Xbox in Microsoft's eyes. Microsoft looks at Xbox as a viable commodity now, right? So you're seeing them doing acquisitions. He will go down as the greatest CEO in Microsoft history. Jim is going to do the same thing for PlayStation. What direction he takes him in is solely up to Jim. And I don't think he likes consoles.
Oh, you bringing up that.
So, hold up real quick before we get into all that. And let me get these super chats.
Them super chats, wow, boy.
So, okay, first off, I don't have Sovereign here. So some of you with your names, you're going to have to accept the fact I'm about to mispronounce them. No, I'm a read it, but it's going to be mispronounced. So we got a $5 super chat from Lucius Augustus. Butchered that first one. I think I got the second one, but we're going to move past that. Jeff Grubb mentioned that the move was finalized recently. They've been working on it for a while, but it could have fallen through if not for ABK. All right, let's pause on that because I do want to talk about this real quick. So keep this tweet in mind. We got a $2 super chat from Kendrick Hardy. Bungie is the Jennifer Lopez of publishers. What is King started?
Listen, let me tell you something. I was going to use that reference before, but it's not appropriate in the sense of how you look at it. Look at my analogy that I use, and there's no one in that category that can pull off exactly what Bungie has done. No one. Look at it.
That deal is crazy, by the way. And they have like full creative control over whatever they do or whatever they want to go do.
She's like, don't look at me.
Here's some breaking news for EA. Just said that they're open and looking at acquisition opportunities.
Yeah, of course. So, he just came up with sale.
So,
all right. So, okay, we'll get into that here in a second. So we got Hero Evo with the $5 super chat. Bungie went to PlayStation and said, we're pregnant, and the child came out green.
That's wild, boy.
You've been
pwned. Oh, Lord.
Okay. That caught me off guard.
I got
we got a $2 super chat from Kendrick Hardy. Bungie for the streets. Then we got a $2 super chat from Fan Kraken. Don't forget, Apple got Bungie, Microsoft pregnant. Microsoft raised Halo. Are they saying Bungie abandoned their child?
What's wrong with y'all?
Listen. What he's saying is in fact, because she conceived that baby with Apple.
Yo, Lord,
that's
Microsoft raised that baby.
So we got a $2 super chat from King One Supreme. Bungie, the Evelyn
Lozada.
Evelyn Lozada of gaming, she traps dudes.
Yeah.
Is that some like Instagram?
What he said. I know who Evelyn is, but
I don't know.
I don't think it really quite works. But look at it though.
Hilarious.
I mean,
you tried, man. You tried. Then we got a $5 super chat from Jonathan B. She Bungie said, "I don't really want your last name. Let me self-publish." Jim said, "Okay, darling." Yo, they are ridiculous with these, man.
God,
then we got a $2 super chat from Kendrick Hardy. Bungie is Pokemon. Bungie has harm of tricks.
Oh no.
A harem?
A harem of
harem.
tricks, yeah.
A harem.
Other tricks.
Yo,
Look, all I know
Wow.
is
Pokemon, I guess. right?
I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon, but that chick
comment.
has literally built an empire off of stuff. So yeah, you can't
Right.
really say too much, man. She hustled her whole entire thing. Then we got a $10 super up to list 22. My thoughts: Sony revenue from Bungie games being multi-plat, games as a service with Spartacus, premier first-person shooter developer hating one IP, one party studio. Bungie cash flow for content, movie, make movies, TVs with Sony Pictures. I definitely understand that. So I want to talk about this one real quick. What Jeff Grubb said. Jeff Grubb mentioned that the move was finalized recently. They've been working on it for a while, but it could have fallen through if not for ABK. I don't know what ABK stands for. Do you guys?
No,
Okay,
I'm not familiar.
But anyway, regardless what that
Activision, Bethesda,
okay,
and
here, that's most likely what it is. Here is how I see this happen. I see Activision, not Activision. I see Bungie and PlayStation probably had some dialogue, and Bungie was like, and PlayStation was like, well, you guys just expect too much from this relationship. And they probably put down those negotiations for a while. And then, because it was still on the table, but it was one of those things where like, we'll think about it. And they never called it back. It's like after that date, they just never got the call back. And I honestly feel like probably because to me, if this happened 6 months ago, exactly how it was said, because Hogue said that he thinks that, to my knowledge, what I interpreted his words for, I don't want to speak for the man, but it sounded like he said that it could have fallen through and picked back up. I feel like maybe the Activision thing happened, and then they went back to because if you notice, they had the same verbiage as the Bethesda deal and the Activision deal.
Yeah.
This deal isn't done; it's still in the works.
Yeah,
and to me, it feels like after the Activision thing happened, they went, "Hey, yo, Bungie, is that deal still on the table?" Like, and I think that's when that happened because to me, sure, they might have been working on this for months, but I honestly and truly do feel like the Activision thing is what pushed Sony. Because if you think about it, this is completely unlike Sony to give so much content control to someone. And I feel like, and I feel like the Activision thing happened, and then they were like, we can't afford Microsoft to buy this company. We're just gonna have to give them what they want, even though how crazy it sounds. And then at least we keep Destiny from being an exclusive. 1 second, King. And people don't realize too, it's just like the Call of Duty thing. Because they're buying them, sure, it might be multi-plat. I'm still thinking matter and all that. That's up in the air. I don't think it's 100% clear with that. But Destiny, I'm pretty sure is staying on all platforms.
Yeah. That's
even though that it's going to stay on platforms, King, you know well just as I do.
We already been through that.
You get that Destiny marketing. That's big. And they will have that for here on out after this deal is finalized.
DLC, all that stuff. Yep.
What'd you say, King?
Okay. You said this is unlike Sony.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like Jim.
Yeah.
This is the house that Jim built. And Jim has a level of autonomy moving inside this Sony space like no CEO at Sony's ever had. The moment his predecessor was out the door, he dropped the price on PlayStation Now. So you already knew that was a matter of contention. He cleaned up the whole European landscape. He went and cleaned up the whole Eastern landscape. He's made, and he's the father of the most profitable PlayStation era.
Not only that,
which is the PlayStation 4.
Not only that, though, you remember how there was the different subsidiaries had their, like, they had their own like set games, set mindset, set
no more.
Globalization happened, and it's under one rule, one direction, and literally it's just been smooth.
But you're able to control things in a different manner.
Yeah.
Now, coming to this deal, I don't think because they were trying to sell. Shout out to Jez. They were trying to sell to Microsoft at a lower price point. Microsoft didn't care about their terms.
Yeah. They want creative freedom.
So right, you're a third party developer, and you want to be purchased. So in your thoughts of wanting to be purchased, that means that you want to be beholden to this house. Mm-hmm. You're not going to come and go anytime you want. So as a company, that's not what we're looking for. We're building Game Pass situation here. So you have to look at the company that did say yes to this, because I'm pretty sure EA looked at it and said, nah, you good, my dude. I'm pretty sure that other companies looked at it and said, You have to look at the company that agreed to this deal, knowing wholeheartedly what was entailed in it. And that will give you the direction that company is going in, because that means they are lockstep. And this is one of the first 4 ways that they're throwing into that field. So you understand and know there's no surprises out of this whole thing. See, people's going to tell me to keep the same energy that I kept when Activision deal went down.
Yeah.
Boy, you are not getting another Call of Duty game after these next 2. You're done, son.
Like, people think that they're still coming. It's not going to happen after the 3. Yeah. Those were on the table way before the deal.
The contracts is already
That's why they said future projects that were on the set on deal will be honored. That's what he said. All obligations will be honored.
Here, this is a different animal, like as far as the contract goes, because and I'm not privy to the whole white pages, and this is not a finished deal. It'll be finished in a second.
Yeah.
But again, it's agreed to in principle, and it will pass. This is my hopes that it will, because it benefits Sony as a company, because it fits a deficiency. But it also changes the narrative that you guys have for Sony, and the thoughts that you feel that Sony is this walled garden. The garden is being broken down. The wall is being torn asunder, and it's going to be day and date at some point in time, because whenever one of these Bungie games come out, that's date and date on PC. That's date and date on another console. That's date and date someplace else. So at what point in time where all those little stories that you tell yourself that day and date is not going to matter and it's not going to be on PC, it's going to be everywhere.
I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen by the end of this generation, like all games at that
point. No, I think about the end of this year. I think God of War. Actually, I think Ragnarok.
All games in general.
Yeah, well, I think Ragnarok is going to be the one game that Jim don't care.
I don't know about Ragnarok.
It has to be a game that big that you can't turn away from.
I don't know though.
That he's gonna force your hand. Watch, it's gonna be something that you can't do it with Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
you can't do it with Horizon.
Definitely can't do it with Horizon. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, that new God of War, you ain't got no choice but to get
after
out.
The 2018 release. I mean, they just released the 2018 release. And what's funny about the PC releases, I'm hearing a lot of dudes saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter. PlayStation will still have the better versions of the multiplayer." Now, also, do you remember? I knew I saw it too. It was the RTX mode or something like that. They were showing off for
it looks
God
ridiculous.
Of War, but y'all noticed there was extra animation detail going. Yeah. So I'm sitting there going, how does the console have the better version when all the extra full vision is already filled on PC? Look at Days Gone. It's a whole different experience when you change that FOV slider.
Well, I tell you this, man. When I hear stuff like that, when I say, "Oh, PS5 is going to have the superior version over PC,"
no.
Sure, if you got a potato PC, maybe, maybe, but nah. Realistically, nah, man. Like, they gotta stop with that too. Stop holding out hope.
Like,
there's a reason why these joints is coming to PC, dog.
Yeah, and y'all not buying them.
Not only that, like, I do want to just say this: Epic, the first deal that PlayStation or that Sony made with Epic, they gave them like $250 million. And then they turned right back around. I think they gave him $250 million more. It was something like some astronomical number again, like 7 months later or something crazy like that. So of course, them games is coming to PC. I was more surprised that God of War, and I know we got talking about it, but God of War came to Steam first.
Oh,
that was the
Epic store.
Yeah.
Let me explain what that whole Epic deal is. First of all, they're getting Fortnite money.
Oh, well, sure.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
But to be in a partnership with Epic in any form of capacity, the Unreal Engine is going to be all over the place. Microsoft has engines that they use like SpeedTree and stuff like that. That's there that other companies actually get a chance to use. So why not Sony? Why not Sony have their hand in the most used middleware in the game? Why not? So I think that's where they whole thought pattern was, because remember, they can get tons of money from Microsoft because more Microsoft studios is using these Unreal engines than anybody else.
I think when it comes to the whole Bungie thing and why things went the way they did, let me get this super chat real quick before we move on. $2 super chat from Carlos. I double dipped Alvarado. I wasn't going to say because I'm going to butcher his name, but okay. Carlos Alvarado. I double dipped on God of War. It's fire on PC day and date. Okay, I haven't
a day and date incoming. I believe that's
what's
what
up. I haven't played it on PC.
Yeah, I haven't played it on PC.
You haven't played on PC yet? Oh man,
no.
I think,
and I will not sit here and play on my PC. Like I don't buy consoles.
But yeah, no. I'm glad you said that. No. I'm glad you said that though, because there are people again who keep acting like they're gonna leave what they're comfortable with and go to something that they're not familiar or something they don't really. You know what I mean? That you're not gonna. If you ain't built a PC yet or last year. You expect me to believe you're gonna build one just because Ragnarok or something like that's gonna go to people? No, you're gonna stay where you are. You're gonna find something else to latch on to. You're gonna be back on Twitter talking about something else, and then finding ways to find a magnifying glass, look at the Xbox, and say Xbox is going out of business. But then we're gonna be right back to square one because it's gonna keep happening. How many times have we had this conversation where dudes are like, "I'm done with PlayStation. I'm done with PlayStation. I'm not going to buy the next one. I'm not going to buy this." And yeah, here we are. They're still hyping up every single game.
Oh, I agree. But as far as the Bungie thing, we got a $2 super chat from Lord Metro. Sony definitely is the beta because in this deal.
No. Here we go. No comment.
Okay, let's not go into a giant spiral. let me get my bars off before we let his super chat just throw us there else. Yeah. There was a train derail close to me. It's not this. It was that train. All right, so here's what my opinions are. Microsoft denied the acquisition when Bungie approached them, or they approached Bungie. I don't know which one it was. I did hear about it when it happened last year. But I think there's differences going on. Microsoft wanted Bungie. They didn't need Bungie. Microsoft already has a grasp on a multiplayer aspect. They don't necessarily need Bungie to fill it. Yep. When Sony went to them, they went to them at a place of weakness. They went to them at a place of our multiplayer is lacking. They went to them at a place of our competition has decided to open their book after 15 years. Yeah. Our competition is buying everything they can. And we know, and we've heard rumors, because if I've heard rumors that I trust, I know damn well they've heard it. We know that Microsoft... Well, let me finish this real quick. Oh, yeah. We know Microsoft has been in talks with you in the past like 6 months to buy you. Why did that fall through? And then Bungie's just straight up like, they ain't want our ass. We told them we wanted to maintain independence and we wanted an open relationship, and they said that's cute. We'll talk later, and they walked out the door. And then Sony looked at them and was like, what if we have that open relationship? What if we'll take care of the kids? You know, we'll raise them. We know you got a bun in the oven. We'll raise that too. Or, you know, we'll help get Destiny off to college. It's like, and then at the end of the day, when all this is over, we'll give you all a golden parachute. And if you guys don't like what we're doing, you can just leave at any time. And I think Sony was just in that position where it's like, look, we need someone to work on our multiplayer. And I think Bungie might not necessarily, they'll have independence, but I think they'll have a lot more responsibility in the Sony platform than the other studios. I personally feel like these other studios that's making multiplayer games for PlayStation, I would not be surprised if they all go through Bungie. Maybe not directly, but Bungie will be looking at them to see if these games play nice, if they can actually work in this sequel.
Oh, like a test.
Yeah. And then and then after they work with Bungie, Bungie's like, okay, now you could go see PlayStation because the mistress is gone. We good. Like it's like I feel like that's what happened. Bungie was just they had Sony, they had them, man, because at the end of the day, I don't think Sony was in a horrible position, but Sony is doing what we've asked them to do. It's like, look, I personally feel like when it comes to Fallout franchise, they need a studio making that sooner rather than later. I don't want to wait 10 years for a Fallout franchise. But they're doing what I feel like Microsoft should do with the Fallout franchise. Where it's like, start working on that now, not 6 years from now. Because
This is for all you dudes that talk about Sony is nurturing. They raise their companies up and they grow them more.
We're going to talk about that here in a second. We're going to talk about that here in a second. I got a whole topic for that.
Sony, they so organic. Man, if you don't get off my lawn.
So I do feel like what's going to end up happening is I think Microsoft didn't want it because they had Halo, and I don't think Microsoft necessarily thought Sony would buy them, but they're like, look, even if they buy them, we have Halo, we have Gears, we have Sea of Thieves with the millions. We have plenty of these games that we don't necessarily need Bungie. Sure, I'm sure if Bungie would have been realistic with their demands, when it come to what Microsoft wanted, Microsoft would have bought Bungie last year.
Addict. When they was in talks with them, Bungie had Jason.
Look,
he got Jason Staten.
Yep.
Bye.
At the end of the day, King, what's happening here is you got a little like, you got it's like you got a woman that's been through a really rough relationships, like really bad one. She's had to get she's had to get the what's the thing?
The cobwebs out.
No.
She got to get her groove back.
Cobwebs,
she had to get no. She had to get. She's had to get restraining orders for multiple men in the past, and now that this new dude rolling up on her, she's like, okay, you're like, I'm feeling you, but what can you do for me? Like, I need something.
I can't even do it.
Yeah, is crazy.
So,
y'all going
let's
to
go.
Hell, first of all. Second of all,
listen, with gasoline.
But tell me, no, hustle. Regardless if it's humor, that's what's happened here. Bungie has went through publisher to publisher, from Microsoft to Activision, and then they're like, look, we are not doing this again. Like, you're going to give us everything we want, or we walk it off, because at the end of the day, Bungie's still a nice looker. Bungie can go anywhere she wants.
She's hot as hell. Like I don't. Y'all can go and find me another developer that has went through as much breakups and still walking out here looking like hot fire. Listen to me when I'm telling you this. She lost her best. Like, she gave her best to Microsoft. And they out here doing it up, like, because Halo was back. The king is back, baby. So when she was in Game Pass, remember, Microsoft used them again. Got them in Game Pass. Then when Halo dropped in Game Pass, you can get up out of here, son. you can go ahead and hit the steps, son. She's like, oh, you gonna do that to me? This is how you gonna treat me? I thought we were supposed to be exclusive. Nah, man, you talking about that street movement and stuff. I told you get that stuff up off of PlayStation, but you ain't want to listen to me like that. Nah, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. You'll learn. Ain't nobody gonna treat you like me.
All right, so let's go to the last part. Let's go to the last two parts. I'm going to put them into one. We got a $2 super chat from Spartan Ghost 17. Gotcha organic Bungie combo box. Dudes was capping. And then we got a $1 super chat from Hero Avo. Definitely appreciate the support.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about the future of Bungie, and let's talk about this organic stuff.
Attic, before we do that, hey, I see it's 450 people in here. Can y'all please hit the like button to get us to 200 likes before the end of the podcast, please?
200. No, we saying 3. I want 3 in
Well,
that.
listen. Get us up to 250 likes, and I'll show you what the back of this jacket do.
Oh God, we got a $2 super chat from.
You want to see the back of this jacket?
We got a $2 super chat from Spartan Go 17. Where are all the insiders at now? Then we got a $2 super chat from Hero Abel. The Bungie tree out. All right. So let's get to the good stuff, man. All right. So I want your brief. Don't go into a huge tantrum, a huge rant. I want to say rant, King. You know, just where you think the future of Bungie and you think like matter. Maybe if they make a Destiny 3, do you think these are going to be exclusive or you think they're going to remain multi-plat? And then let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big elephant in the room. And is Bungie an organic growth for the PlayStation first-party studios? King is going to take pretty much the ender of the podcast because I know him with this topic.
I'm going to be mad brief with it.
Okay, King.
Order 1886, that word growth. Organic, I mean, because it's done. You're not gonna hear that anymore from people.
All right, so listen, I told you already. I don't see another PlayStation after this, and I'm not saying it to spite you or hurt your feelings or say anything like that. I'm telling you, in marketing, research and development, if you can remove all of that from the bloat, because that's a lot of money spent there, and you can go to exactly what y'all are great at, and I'm literally, y'all are great at developing games, making games, and what you realize that whole stuff is inside you. That PlayStation app, whatever it's going to be called, could be on the Xbox platform. Can be on a whatever Netflix box is going to be, whatever Amazon's Luna is, that can be there. You have the IPs that can actually live, and you can just make games and make money without tying yourself to hardware with fake numbers and all this stuff and trying to make ends meet. What I've seen with this acquisition is that's what Bungie is about. Bungie is about developing games. They don't care about no hardware. They just about putting it wherever they can get that bread at. Whatever street corner gonna pump that, that's gonna happen. So when is Jim gonna look over? Because I already think Jim has been looking over at that whole aspect of it. Because they did tell you that they was cutting back on the PlayStation 5 development now because of what was going to production of it. Where Microsoft said they ramping up, they're pushing it harder. So you got to look at where both companies are going and what their positioning is in certain aspects of it and where they can generate the most amount of money from. All right. So you're talking about $1 trillion company and $1 billion company. $1 trillion company doesn't care about research and development. They don't care about production costs because that is used as a price to play the game. But what happens when you no longer want to play the game in that same manner? When Nintendo didn't want to play the game in that whole power structure race, nobody could have ever foretold what they were going to do and how they was going to achieve it, but they were successful in what they did and how they're going about it because they make great software. So what they realize is the hardware at the end of the day matters when it fits their purpose. Their purpose has always been Nintendo on the go. They went right back to their DNA and they went right back to where they started. Sony started as a developer. When they decide to go back to their DNA, because remember, they got in this game to kick Nintendo's teeth in. Job, mission accomplished. You already did that. You have made your brand a household name. You have made your console something to be feared. But right now, is it about the fight or is it about the win? So MLB The Show on the Switch, MLB The Show on Xbox, Destiny 3 on everybody. It's about winning now?
If
Who
you get one
wins
vital
when
thing,
God of War is launched on everybody at one time? Forget about these fanboys and all that other stuff, because that doesn't. Jim don't care.
goes back to the rebranding, King. PlayStation Studios.
He's done it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, King. Goes back to PlayStation Studios.
Remember when I told
that
you
logo,
when they did that
logo, yeah, that logo popping
and they
up
said,
everywhere.
that means nothing, brother. That means everything.
It's like Gamepass.
Because what you did was
Xbox Studios.
You put yourself in a place where that logo is synonymous now with a great
quality.
product.
Yeah, exactly. Quality.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
that's their stamp of approval. So when you got the stamp of approval, and it's on this one.
Let me ask you a question. This right. So a lot of people can't find a PlayStation 5 right now, right? But what if they were just developing games? Let Microsoft worry about that. Or let Nintendo worry about that. We're gonna put these bomb games out, and you're gonna get it how you gonna get it though.
They're not gonna do that though.
Watch. This is the last one.
They're definitely not doing that.
After the conference. So the reason why Hustle, and I'm with Hustle on why we're not going to see them go away, goes back to that conversation we had with K.E. Yeager. Consoles will always be around, especially if they got the support system. Thinking about PlayStation hardware, it sells itself. Now, the problem with PlayStation hardware this time around, and you just brought it up, Sony cannot guarantee you a PS5 in your hands. In fact, Sony's going to extreme rates to get you a PS5, and they've done one move that really angered me. I got flack for it, but I was like, listen, I got to call it out. When you cheap out on something as vital as the heat solution for your system, when you cheap out on something as vital to a console's lifespan, and Hustle, you already know, you saw the comments. Let me tell you something, man. People go, it works. There's no issues. It worked. You're wrong. I'm sitting there going, we haven't tried a single game that pushes this box yet. Longevity is always going to be in the back of your mind for this new unit of the PS5, because the heat sink that we got with the OG, that was future-proof. That's the word I like to use. Future-proof. It was good. It was going to work. The newer one, that's iffy.
Yeah,
that's still iffy. Yeah, this OG one right here, I don't care what they do. And the last thing I want to do, and I'm glad you said that, the last thing I want to see by the time we get like a little further in the gen, the last thing I ever want to see, especially with Sony just dropping these new plates for the PS5, the last thing I want to see is a redesign of this console. And they go, you know what? Yeah, about them plates, we got more different. You know what I mean? I don't want to see that, because at that point, it's like, that conversation came back.
Let's go and get Hustle's opinion on this. So, Hustle, how do you feel in terms of the acquisitions, and do you feel what's going to be the future for Bungie on the let's say on the Xbox platform? Like, how do you feel they're going to be operating?
I think it's going to be like a Warzone situation, right? Microsoft, as we all know, just acquired Activision. I think that what is available on the platforms, you will always have that. But I think what Bungie's working on in the tuck is going to be PlayStation's baby. They pride and joy. I like to say they're a little Halo, but I do want to be respectful and say that that's going to be their thing. One of y'all earlier in this conversation, pretty much, they went to Bungie when PlayStation went to Bungie, or something with the Bungie when they were desperate. Look at what Bungie walked away with. We keep talking about it. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. The way you walk away with like everything you want plus more.
Bungie pretty much walked away with Sony's retirement fund. Like
that to me is super wild. I want to piggyback off of what Bitcloud was just talking about with the PlayStation and the heat.
The cheaper, the cheap alternative they went with. I
want y'all to know something. This generation is probably going to be like the PS3 generation. I got a feeling because can't nobody find none of these joints nowhere. PlayStation, Xbox. Well, you can always find a Series S, which is a good thing. But the semi-chip conductor.
Answer me this. When was the last time you seen a digital version
of what? PS4,
PS5?
I haven't.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Isn't that supposed to be the unit that we thought was going to be the one they push out? We don't even see a digital. They don't even make the digital. None of them they go straight for the disc. And I'm like,
But this generation started what? 2021 was it last year or year before last?
Yeah, it's like 2021.
if this generation reaches up to 2028, that would not surprise me because we're going to have to deal with this chip conductor shortage at least until 2024, from what I would understand, just according to some of the research that I've done. So if we get a repeat of the PS3 generation and they cheapened out on some supplies with PlayStation, I got the day one joint right there, and hopefully this joint don't nothing happen to it. Hopefully nothing happen to it.
The thing about that day one, but when we got compared to what we saw with the new one, I think we good for quite some time because what they were talking about, and again, Austin Evans got a lot of flack for, dudes came at us, and I'm like, bro, all he did was just compare the boxes. But I'm sure looking at it, bro, when you cut out any solution that's vital to a console's lifespan, you have to question that. People are like, oh, I trust the Sony engineers. Okay. Oh God, yeah. I trust them that they put out a box that made the parameters, meaning that it works for now. What about for longevity? Did they test the
recommended specs?
Yeah, so, that's it. It's on a production line. They test that, then they go.
The thing is you can't trust. Look, I'm not saying these people aren't smart. They're definitely smarter than me in that field, but these type of people, these smart individuals, are the same people that gave us the Red Ring of Death, the issues that the PS3 had. They're the same people that made the Samsung phones explode in your ear. Like, look, like when you're doing these research and development for years, sometimes you're in such a tunnel vision, you overlook stuff.
Thank you. Especially when they just go ramp it.
I haven't seen any huge problems with it and stuff. Listen,
well, we haven't touched the box. I mean, we haven't really pushed the boxes yet. That's the thing.
Uncharted 5 gonna come out. Them new PS5.
Playing Uncharted 5 is gonna melt the middle of it.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
They're gonna start using They're gonna start using PlayStations to war. They're gonna start using PlayStations to warm apartments.
You want to see how-to videos to prevent it. Dude's gonna be playing without the plates.
I've joked about the system. I mean, mine is pretty loud. Starts off, sounds like a jet engine. Again.
Oh, that initial boot, you got that issue.
Yeah,
and then it stops. Then it stops.
Like what, big boy? Slow down. Sound like a big boy been ready to run up the steps. Calm down, big boy. Calm down. But
it's like breathe.
Out your nose and your mouth, and it's
oh my God. It's like a Wookiee.
give me a minute. I ain't gonna front though. Listen,
wow, dog.
They make more money with my strategy, and I'm telling you, somebody's going to look over, and I already know he has already. He already looked over, and I don't care how bad it hurts whoever, because it really doesn't hurt you. You don't hurt at all if you pick up an Xbox controller, because I've seen a lot of you dudes, but that's the controller you use to play the God of War on PC. All right? So you've been using that controller or playing it on PC. That shows, and let me tell you, that showed them we can make controllers then if they're bound to the controller. That app could be on the TV. Microsoft has been dabbling in that whole aspect as well. That you just walk in, you pick up your controller, your app is on your television, and you're glued in. You're linked in. Listen, that hardware stuff is going to go away. People said physical wasn't going to go away. Addict just told you he has 700 plus digital games.
Yep. All
if he had 700 plus digital physical games behind him, he would have to get how many shelves and cabinets did we used to have back in the days?
A lot.
I'll have to get one of those.
Used to have tubs. You know what I'm talking about?
You know those
tubs with games.
You know those futuristic movies where they like put the car in like the closet, it picks it up. So you're gonna see behind me just like a quarter veil, but just swapping out the games. And I'm gonna sit in their back, just going from room to room, be like, okay, no, the game's not here, just moving it again. Oh, it was in that last room, but I gotta go all the way back around to get it. Like,
no, it's over, man. They never wanted to get with the times. These dudes is old fuddy. Y'all too young to be old fuddy-duddies. Get off my lawn. You that guy, man. Come on. Just let it go. And I know you're going to say, well, if Microsoft did it, would you keep the same attitude? Let me tell you something. Whatever I could pick up my controller with, because I've watched my Neo Geo leave, I watched my NEC leave, I watched my Sega leave. I can watch any one of these two disappear. But as long as I can get their games, that's their legacy. The hardware was just something for me to just say that, that's what they was at. This is where I was at. But if they make it that I'm able to game no matter what, wherever, I'm down. I've been there.
Disagree.
Yeah, I definitely understand.
I agree. I mean, you can have your opinion, of course, but long live physical media.
The hell with it. Let it burn.
NBA game is what this is. Long live
Let it
physical
burn.
media.
What's funny is Hustle fell and mentioned how much did you spend on those N64 games there, Hustle? Those wrestling. It varies.
One copy of No Mercy cost me $75. The other copy of No Mercy cost me $35. They both work. But like no more. Like that was the most I spent on it. I think no more than that. But hold on.
I got an arcade machine.
Let me get these
$2
super chats real quick.
That has 65,000 games and 135 consoles in it.
And you beat me to it.
And if I'm running, you can grab all your consoles and try to run out your house. I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna pick my tabletop up, and I'm gonna walk out the house with 65,000. You couldn't do that with a bunch of book bags. So
he was like,
I don't care.
And I've seen that. They
got those
huge. When King was having that built, they're like, "What do you want materials you want us to use for this?" Well, considering it's huge, if my house burns down, I want that to survive. So make that as some fireproof stuff. That way, it comes out. I don't have to grab that. So stuff starts going bad. I just leave that downstairs. It'll be fine. We got $5 super chat from Hero Avo. Oh my god, I don't know if I should read this. Nah, Bungie on that blue Viagra growth. Okay.
Wow.
We got a $8.99 super chat from Methy's. Dude, you're just gonna have to deal with that, man.
Oh, I got you.
His name is.
What was it? Let me scroll up.
We sit here. We're having a pronunciation class right now.
Methyl.
Methyl. We're going with that, man. We're going with that.
Man.
And this is nothing against like people that pronounce it, because I hate if like people have like a pronunciation of their name on that. This is me barely being able to speak English, so I can definitely not speak other stuff. So King, that no more PS console would happen if Microsoft allowed the PS Store and the Xbox. What a sight that would be. And I think that's all for now. Yeah. Okay. So here. Okay.
Do you understand what type of what level of dominance Phil will have? Do you understand what type of trophy will go on top of his wall? Do you if that was ever to be a case and you pop on your Xbox and you go, because the greatest thing that Phil did so far was Sony Studios, MLB The Show, Gamepass, day and date. In your wildest dreams, that was not achievable. I want y'all to go back to that moment, to that second, to that day, and play it over in your head, because that's when pigs could fly. Because a lot of you guys said, man, when pigs would fly, that'll happen. Oink, oink. Get out there and get your fishing net, because he's flying.
All right, so
the question is Game Pass coming to PlayStation?
Ain't gonna be no PlayStation to put it on.
This is how I feel.
That's the question at that point.
This is how I feel when it comes to the future of Bungie and the, whether or not the Sony does the growth that's natural. We'll say that. Okay, first off, let's do the growth that's natural. Anyone that's saying this in the chat, you're capping. I get it. There is a lot more examples. Now, I was 100% on certain people's side until I was on a podcast with K Mega. Shout out to him. He said something that I really resonated with, and I didn't really think about it till he said it. He said, I can't really say something's a natural growth when you bought them 15 years after working with them. That's not natural. That's just buying them after you've worked with them. And then I started thinking about it. Something like Compulsion, even the people who make Returnal, they've been around for a while, but I don't think they've been House Marquee. I don't think they've been properly funded to really elevate their studio. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at like Compulsion, Housemarque, even Blue Point to a point, because they've never got their own. Like I see that as being a growth that they're really, what's the word that they love using?
I got to show them the back of the jacket. They hit it up. Hold on.
They did.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay, so I see that as natural growth. But I don't see Insomniac as natural growth, because to me, what I see when I see them buying Insomniac after working with them for 10 to 15 years is they funded that studio, and Insomniac naturally grow their studio with the money that PlayStation gave them, which Insomniac could have got that from a lot of other people. It's just Sony signed on for these studios, and that's why I personally feel let's see this real quick. Hold up, I will give them a
fire, boy.
Though.
Hold up,
them Pele's, man.
See that wolf?
Keep it up real quick.
Club. See that wolf?
Where's the light up effects? Thought you had a Chris Jericho jacket.
Those eyes look like they do be chasing you, though.
Oh, that is crazy.
Man,
that's cool.
We need a jacket like that, King.
Yeah, okay.
I think it costs more than my
jacket
PC,
costs
boy.
me $1,300.
I'm not saying it needs to be made out of that stuff, but I'm saying
that wolf needs to be the IOP mascot. That's how it works.
Okay, so let me go back to what I was saying. I do feel like certain studios, they've naturally grown, but I feel like certain studios like Insomniac, they've just gave them money throughout the years. Insomniac has grown their studios. It'd be different if they bought them 15 years ago and they've made these games with them. Like, if you really think about it, Insomniac had to go to Microsoft to get funding for Sunset Overdrive because PlayStation wouldn't fund it. Yeah. They wouldn't fund it without owning Sunset Overdrive. So that concept right there, it makes it not necessarily look bad, but it doesn't really stand with that natural growth that people talk about. Now, if you look at it from Microsoft, Sony, now what I will say is we saw Bethesda. What did Todd Howard say? When Fallout 76 flopped at first person he called was Phil Spencer. That Microsoft helped put Oblivion on the Xbox platform. You can honestly say that Nintendo, maybe a little bit less than Nintendo when it comes to third party, but especially Sony and PlayStation have naturally grown, organically grown with all of these publishers throughout the past 15 years because they've worked with them every damn game. Yeah. So it's just like, I don't see that mindset. I don't. Like, it'd be different if they buy these studios, they bought like a little tiny studio, and then they just grown them throughout the years. But Sony doesn't do that. Yeah, Sony's like, oh, you like that game? Oh, that's cool. How much you need? Oh, we'll give you the money if you let us own the IP. Oh, I know you're the one that invented it. You're the one that thought about it. But our money comes with costs. We ain't doing this unless you give us the IP. All right, that's good. Here's the money. And then Insomniac took the money, walked away with it, and they grew their stuff. They're the ones that found the talent. They're the ones that grew the studios the way they work.
You know what kills me though? Quantic Dreams. I thought that was a missed opportunity, personally. Quantic Dreams.
I think Supermassive Games was too.
Yeah, Supermassive Games too. Quantic Dreams is not owned by anybody. They're independent, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that'll be picked up soon, but Supermassive.
They're the people who are making the Star Wars game,
definitely
right?
they're the ones making that.
Supermassive got picked up by Netflix, right?
No. Not Supermassive.
They're just making like they're about to finish their last game, but it's just like Until Dawn, fantastic studio.
Yeah.
Sony just let that go. Quantic Dream, fantastic studio. Sony just let that go. Ready at Dawn.
Ready at Dawn. Yeah.
This fantastic studio. They just let that go. Like, it's
to your point though, they're not as organic as they lead you to believe. And I think that's a narrative that people want to believe because they want to turn them into something that's wholesome. They want you to believe that they're the lesser of the two evils. They want you to believe that this is the proper choice. And isn't that always the thing? Same thing with Pepsi and Coke. You know, like, oh, Pepsi pets baby kittens every night before they go to sleep. You know, and and Coca-Cola kicks dogs. You know, so they tell you things to make you believe stuff. Listen, Sony has been dealing in practices that haven't been great. Microsoft doesn't deals in practices that aren't great, and you have to find out exactly where you lie. You lie with games, right? So none of these dudes have grown anything organically. None of them.
And that's why I want to point out to this whatever your name is. I'm not going to try to butcher it. That's Business Addict, just like Xbox throwing a bag of money to buy publishers. Stop the cap. It's pretty blatant. Y'all are Xbox stands. Okay, whatever you want to call us. This is really related to
my PSN.
It's not. It's not. But I gotta roast them. Hold up, it's not. But I gotta roast them.
No. You know how you roast them. Go ahead, sorry, I just want to say one point. You know how you roast them? By having a deaf ear to ignorance.
Look, and I get that.
But you want to be a man behind your words, put your money up.
And I get that, but I do want to point out this, and then I won't address anything ever in the chat. Look, at the end of the day, we literally, King just said none of these companies have ever really done that.
None of them.
You know,
none of them.
Naturally organic, anything. The difference is a lot of Xbox people, and it looks like Bitcloud, we're not saying that Xbox did. Yeah. Like, we're look, at the end of the day, the only difference between Microsoft going out there and buying studios and PlayStation is Microsoft has you can't outbid me money, and PlayStation does it. When it came to Warframe and Microsoft and Sony was trying to bid for that, they was like up to $1.5 billion. Sony pulled off. They bid for Warzone, Splash Damage, all that company. They bid for WB. Did any of that sound like organic growth, King?
No.
So you mean to tell me if they won those bids, they were just gonna be like, okay, now we've won the bids, we're just gonna sell the companies? Yeah, like no. The only reason they're not buying these
spring water.
The only reason they're not buying these studios is because companies like Microsoft, companies like Google, companies like Apple can come in there and quadruple to 5 times the amount of their bid every single time. If you look at it, every time Sony loses a bid, it's 9 times out of 10 to neither Microsoft, Tencent, or Google. And that's because they can't outbid those 3 people.
Embrace it. Embrace the
group. Them dudes is crazy.
And we know damn well, like Sony wants to be the superhero platform. If you want to be the superhero platform, you got to have one particular character on there. That's Batman.
I don't think they want to be I don't think they want to be the superhero platform.
Well, I'm talking about what the way they're doing. Yeah.
Right now, they have an IP and a dealing with Marvel and Disney and knowing what's the pulse of the now generation.
Yeah.
And the now generation, they saw how Spider-Man rang off. They see the sales in the movies. So they look at other IPs that they're able to touch in that space, and they want it to reverberate in the same manner. So I just believe that they have a finger on the pulse. I don't believe that they want it to be a superhero box. Actually, they just want to sell games. They don't care.
The reason why I said that, because it really looked like they wanted to be the helm, like they
I do
wanted to be
agree
known,
with them.
Yeah, like for that type of stuff.
I think because Spider-Man was so successful and because of the arrangement that people were sitting there acting like it's not fair to Xbox gamers that Sony could use the leverage of having the Spider-Man movie license and they can leverage that to getting whatever they want from Marvel. But at the end of the day, Sony's using what they have to their advantage, just like Microsoft's using what they have to their advantage. And you won't see me complaining. So it's just like, look, like I can guarantee you when Sony was about to get yanked off the MCU and they were going back over and over again, Sony's like, oh, we want a Wolverine game. And they use that advantage to it. And it's just like, we got to stop with this organic stuff because at the end of the day, none of these companies have really organically grown anything. I will give like the Initiative. I do think they're organic. They're literally growing that studio from infancy. So that I will give that. I'll give some of the smaller studios. But as far as like the Coalition, that was built from the ground up. Actually, if you think about it, King, Microsoft's organically growing more studios. 343 Coalition, the Initiative. Yep. Made from the ground up to make these games.
Well, Naughty Dog is one.
They bought Naughty Dog.
Yeah, they purchased Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog was
hell
Naughty
no.
Dog before them.
Yeah, but they were.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, okay. See what Atticus is talking about is
No, I know what he means.
were they purchased or were they grown? Right? So you got to talk about what was grown in-house or what was purchased. And technically, Naughty Dog was purchased. They had games because I had games on my 3DO. I had Way of the Warrior.
Yeah.
So I can take it back. If people want to pull out hardware, let's pull out that hardware. And so nah, man, it's just they're not organic. That's a farce. That's a lie. And this deal proves how organic they are not. So it's absolutely whatever.
I really want to see Microsoft get aggressive though in this superhero field as well.
I don't care two snaps about it.
I don't think
Microsoft. Go upstairs and play Marvel Avengers right now.
There's two characters that would benefit drastically on the Xbox.
What?
Spawn, Punisher.
Yep.
I do think that'd be cool.
Don't they got those games for the 360?
I'm talking about right now.
I do think it would. I do think King. You can't tell me. We got a 2001 pixel bit G. Nope, Naughty Dog started making gaming on the 3DO.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So
we're moving past that. I appreciate the super chat. King, you can't tell me that a Punisher made by the Coalition wouldn't be lit.
Or after looking at what Nether. After looking at what NetherRealm did with Spawn, and you seeing, just that. God, come on, dog.
Yo, you know what? You're talking to a dude with a backlog. Like you literally having a conversation with a dude that you know what? It got to the point right now when I go upstairs.
You got the old hotness. We talking about new though.
I hear you. But see, I walk upstairs every day and I turn on my Xbox and I go straight to Gamepass and I go to recently added. And if it's the same game that's in the square in the front, I take a sigh of relief. And I go, let me clean up some more of these games that I've been playing. Brother, I'm still playing Death's Door. So I'm going to tell you this. I don't care about the Punisher being made that's coming out in 2025. I'm dealing with the stuff that's happening now. And would it be lit? Yes. Would it be fantastic? Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got Wolverine. we got a mature rated Wolverine game. We know they're going to deliver. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know anything.
We know they're going to deliver. It's time they're going to deliver.
Listen, what I do know is, in the short-term future, I'm going to be playing baseball. Swing! Bada, 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 bada.
All right, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. Last thought I had when it comes to the future of Bungie, I do think that their future stuff's going to be exclusive. I think Destiny's going to stay on multi-platform. There's no reason to. I know there's a lot of stuff.
So you
going
see
out
a revamp of the Bethesda deal. I mean, catch up. You see like a revamp of the Bethesda deal, sort of in this, like all future stuff, like all commitments will be held. And
I get people are saying that the way this was structured, that's impossible. But I feel like Sony's funding it. They could easily manipulate Bungie. Like
that's true.
I get that, they got the law behind them, but Sony got the money behind them. So it's just like at the end of the day, when it comes down to this, do you guys real quick, King, because I know the rest don't play Destiny. You think it's possible? We know right now that Destiny 2 is supposed to be continuing. Do you think that Sony might push for a Destiny 3 just to shut it off from the Xbox?
I don't know, probably so, but in the contract they play that we shutting it off from anybody, and Bungie gonna shut off their lights and walk out the house because listen, this is gonna be the first time that you're going to see a Sony company, because they're a Sony company, they're under the Sony brand. I watched that Activision thing with them in its entirety, and I've seen. If they don't like a situation, they give you the middle finger. I thought it was an anomaly with Microsoft. And you know, all they asked Microsoft, they pulled a Tina Turner and said, "All I want is my name. You can keep the kids. I'm up out of here. I just want my name. I'm up out
I
of
want
here."
my last name too. I don't
That's
want to be
it.
seen as you.
And they left out there that way, and then they learned. They've learned contract to contract. This is the greatest contract that I've seen so far as a developer go. Give me money. I do what I want. God bless. See you later. Like, excuse you? So, I'm telling
It's
you,
definitely-
man, they play that BS over there with them boys. Them boys about to leave and take the baby, the house, the car, and the mortgage.
I just think that I
don't
wouldn't be
know.
surprised if they try something. That's
They
all.
try it and they gonna get bit.
So what was you saying, Bitcloud? Because we about to wrap this up.
All right, shut up.
Oh, okay. So, you know, first off, I want to thank everyone coming through. Add up to like 450 people. First off, I want to say you do not want to miss the Iron Lords podcast this Sunday at 1 p.m. on the channel that you're watching this. Definitely hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the podcast. Subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you ain't subscribed. I don't know at this point. I see a lot of you in there. If you're not subscribed, there's a little subscribe button right down here. Click that. It's red if you haven't subscribed. Now, if it's gray, leave it alone. Leave it alone if it's gray. You can hit the little bell icon beside the gray thing if you want. But, you know, I appreciate everyone for coming through. We got a $5 super chat from Hero Avo. Catch you on the Lord's Day. Some Twitter folks about to catch these hands. Just kidding. Peace and love, fellas. Now, hustle and motivate. What's going on with you? Do you have anything that you want to tell the realm?
Yeah. I am currently on twitch.tv/hustle and motivate, getting my teeth bashed in by Uncharted 3. I'm actually heading into town, and I am preparing. You know, since somebody said I was an Xbox fanboy, I know you wasn't talking to me when this is my favorite series of all time. I know you wasn't talking to me. Anyway,
see, you did that. I was gonna be petty and just say, "Hey, you want to see my PSN?" I was gonna do that because my PSN speaks for volumes. But
you got it. Now I'm everywhere. Hustle and motivate. I will stream. What's tomorrow? Wednesday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thursday. I'll probably stream back Thursday. I'm gonna try to finish Uncharted 3. I don't know where I'm at in the game. I'm on a boat or something. Who knows? But I'm streaming. Follow me on Twitter just so you can stay abreast of all the news. Addict, one hell of a show, sir. Bitcloud, I want to say thank you. And King, thank you also. Oh, wait. Y'all make sure y'all catch Bitcloud on this channel, Bitcloud Gaming. The RGT podcast comes on every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And as you all know, the Iron Lords. Now that football season is over, every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you don't want to miss either one of these episodes.
Yeah, and, you know, first thing I do want to say is there will be a review tomorrow. I think it's like 7 or 8. I'm not going to go into logistics on a game. I'm not going to say the game. I'm sure you guys can know what the game's going to be. But I will be putting up a review on that game tomorrow. 7 or 8. I have to double check the time. I'm not going to accidentally schedule it and break NDA. That would be horrible. But definitely catch on that. KingDavid, what is going on, man? You got any new announcements?
Yeah. Tomorrow you can catch me at 2XP. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a show. We're gonna be out here. We're gonna be acting up. I'm gonna be out there with my boys from the Midwest. Woo, acting crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Fridays you can catch me at Dolph Castle X, 9 p.m. We can see the boy talk about all this premium stuff, all this opulence, all this. Since y'all like to have a lot of product. This is the only physical I need in my life.
Oh man.
This right here. Woo, beautiful, ridiculous. Oh, the watch is killing me.
Surprised you don't have one of those life-size Iron Man armor.
Oh no, my boy got that stuff. I'm not doing that life-size.
Oh man.
Financially, he's in a whole different tax bracket than me. I'm
those
not in that
things. I have a friend that does those. Those
They're
things
crazy.
cost like 15 stacks. Like,
Yo, listen, off
they're
the
crazy.
rip, like you go. He just brought a R2D2 that cost him $8,000, life size R2D2. So and it does all the pew, 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 all that stuff. My wife thought it was him making the sounds with his mouth. She's like, "Why is he doing that?" I said, "No, that's the machine." She said, "Oh, definitely no." That's a definite. You don't even look in his direction. So my boy went life size. All the stuff, all the statues in his house is life size, and he done got a couple of guys in the group to do that. That's a different tax bracket than this kid over here. And I'm not trying to do that, sir, unless you want me to be pawning these things here. That's not happening, sir. So I know how to stay in my lane. I'm like Sony.
Oh my God.
I see Microsoft playing over there in that big ass sandbox. I stay my little behind over here. I spend my little $3 billion over here, picking and choosing what I like, sir. Thank you.
All right. So Bitcloud Gaming. What you got going on with you, man? What you got anything you want to tell people, man?
Well, appreciate the invite. It was a hell of a show. Always a pleasure. I appreciate y'all. RGT, like the homie Hustle said, every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, thank you guys. You guys want to follow me? Bitcloud Gaming, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I keep saying this because there's truth. I'm gonna tell them off air, but you guys, you're in for a treat. We got a lot of stuff lined up. Just put it like that. Big things.
Hey, I have a question before we go.
What's up?
Do you have a new host? Do you have a new co-host on the RG2 podcast?
I heard it was Sean Layden.
We got two.
Oh man,
we got my man Sean.
Now we got two new awesome members. We got Red Hood 420, and we got
my boy.
And we got Paul Hunter, aka Next Gen from Twitter. So that's our two new additions to the cast. And
that's right.
Shows have been great. Straight gaming. You already know how we do it. But also tomorrow we'll be streaming the State of Play. So you guys want to come hang out with yours truly? Come on.
You mean the State of Delay?
Yeah. Everybody watching this, we will not be streaming that, so you should probably go watch his.
For the Bitcloud.
Yeah. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
I'll be reporting on it once that game get delayed. Hey, yo, Blaze.
Oh, no.
Doing, boo-boo? Hey, make sure you put some shea butter on the back of your knees.
If it don't get delayed, we need you on RGT so you can bend the knee. That's what we need.
Hey, listen. If it don't get delayed, I already told him he got to come on Iron Lords. I better knee there because that's where the deal was made at. So I ain't going on nobody else's show to better knee. But on God and them, the boy already know. Like I said, your knee belong to me. Put it in the box, ship it off over here. Thank you. Hey, make sure you put a lot of shea butter on the back of your knees.
And it's like I said, you guys, subscribe to the Iron Lords podcast channel. Definitely go and subscribe to all these gentlemen as well. Follow King on his stats